Yeah.
Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Today I am going to discuss on turn your wounds into wisdom. Before that, prayer. Kritivasaha puraratihi Bhagavan Pramatadhipaha Mrutyunjaya Sukshmatanuhu Jagadvyapi Jagadguru. Turn your wounds into wisdom. In life, we are inundated with lessons and opportunities to grow. Sometimes they are more welcome or expected than others. But even though every moment you experience plays an important role in your life, I like the words in this quote. Picturing a wound creates a strong image that strengthens the negativity of the event. When comparing that to wisdom, we understand that the pain was necessary to come upon a new realization that is no forever with you. Fittingly, wounds turn into scars, and you will have that remnant of what happened and a constant reminder of the progress you have made. So, turn your wounds into wisdom and know that certain things that happen in your life are meant to be there in order to help you grow. We are all broken people. We are all imperfect. Sometimes we hurt each other intentionally or unintentionally. Life is not fair. Innocent people suffer. Everyone has experienced unfair treatment in some way. How do you respond to it? If you start dwelling on it and stewing or spewing and worrying, your soul takes a hit. Grudges over what others have done to you will hurt your soul, impairing your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Resentment, bitterness, retaliation, and revenge will damage you. God turns your hurts into holiness. He turns your wounds into wisdom. He uses offenses to remove your pretenses. When you believe that God can bring good things out of very bad things, He will begin to rebuild your soul, your broken thoughts, your broken emotions, and your broken will. At some point, you will come to realize that living the good life involves some sort of an amount of necessary pain, and that there are more flavors of pain than ice cream and coffee combined. There is the little empty pain of leaving something behind, graduating, taking the next step, walking out of a familiar, safe situation and into the excitement of the unknown. There is a giant, whirling pain of life, upsetting all of your big plans and expectations. There is a little sharp pains of making a mistake and the more obscure acts of success when it does not make you feel as good as thought it would. There are wishes, backstabbing, pains of betrayal, the sweet little pains of finding others who are worthy of your time, giving them your love and taking joy in their life. As they grow and learn, there is the steady pain of empathy that you shrug off so you can stand beside a wounded friend or lover and help them face their problems. And on the best of days, there are the subtle, tingling pains you feel throughout your body when you come to realize that you are standing in a moment of sweet perfection, an instant of great achievement, or happiness, or laughter, which at the same time cannot be possibly lost, and yet will remain with you for the rest of your life. Everyone is down on pain, and when we experience it, we usually say we are having a bad day because we forget something important about what we are going through. Pain is for the living, for those of us who still have the chance of a lifetime. It is one of the natural phenomena. It occurs commonly in such cases. Only the dead don't feel it because the time is already up. So, with this in mind, here are 12 smart ways to turn all your daily wounds into wisdom and strength. Let us find out what are the 12 steps. Let us start first one. Admit to your emotional pain so you can deal with it and heal. Okay, see it. Emotional pain is less dramatic than physical pain, at least from the outside looking in, but it is more common and also more difficult to bear than broken bones. The frequent attempt to conceal emotional pain increases the burden. Don't do this to yourself. Sure, it is easier to say, my leg is aching, than to say, my heart is broken. But that does not mean your heart needs less self care than your leg. In fact, the exact opposite is true. Number two, let go of what used to be and no longer is. How? When you realize that none of it is yours, that you don't get the claim or even keep any of it in the end, and when you are willing to let go of attaching to anything you consider mine, you are suddenly free. There is no need to grip or grasp. Yet, one of the hardest lessons in life is letting go, whether it's possessions, obsessions, anger, love, or loss. Change is never easy. You fight to hold on and you fight to let go. But letting go is always the healthiest path forward. It clears out toxic attachments and thoughts from the past. You have got to emotionally free yourself from the things that once meant a lot to you. So you can move beyond the past and the pain it brings you. Again, it takes hard work to let go and defocuses your thoughts, but it's worth every bit of effort you can muster. Third one, emotionally detach yourself from your problems. You are a living, breathing human being who is infinitely more complex than all of your individual problems added up together. And that means you are more powerful than them. You have the ability to change them and to change the way you feel about them. Fourth one, view every challenge as an educational assignment. How? Ask yourself, what is this situation meant to teach me? Every situation in our lives has a lesson to teach us. Some of these lessons include to become stronger, to communicate more clearly, to trust your instincts, to express your love, to forgive, to know when to let go, to try something new, learn something new, and never look back. Fifth one, ask yourself more positive questions. Answer. If you ask negative questions, you will get negative answers. There are no positive answer to why me, what if, etc. Would you allow someone else to ask the demoralizing questions you sometimes ask yourself? I doubt it. So stop and swap them for questions that push you in a positive direction. For example, what can I do right now to move forward? Sixth one, make small adjustments as you figure out what works and what does not. Let us see. A big part of your life is a result of the choices you make. If you don't like some part of your life, then it is time to start making changes and better choices. This change may not be so easy, but it is possible. Habits that keep us stuck in life are made in each moment, day by day. Undoing these habits takes the same extra path. Focus on the small things you can do right now, not the big things you can't. These small daily changes add up to huge results in the end. Seventh one, keep putting one foot in front of the other. Okay. Winston S. Churchill once said, if you are going through hell, keep going. In other words, never, never, never give in. The brick walls in life are there for a reason. They are not there to keep you out. They are there to give you a chance to show how badly you want something. Because the brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it as badly as you do. They are there to stop the other people. Now, eighth question. Keep calm and focus on the positive. Okay, see it. The realist sees reality as concrete. The optimist sees reality as clay. Be the optimist and mold the clay your way. Take what you have learned and build something new. In other words, don't see the difficulties in today's opportunities. See the opportunities in today's difficulties. Write it on your heart that today is a chance of a lifetime. And remember that there is always a reason to celebrate. Slowing down long enough to celebrate the small victories creates momentum and inspiration to keep on keeping on. Ninth one. Consciously nurture your inner hope. There is a saying in Tibetan: tragedy should be utilized as a source of strength. No matter what sort of difficulties or how painful an experience is, if you lose your hope, that's your real tragedy. So remember, a loss, a worry, an illness, a dream crushed, no matter how deep your hurt or how high your aspirations, do yourself a favor and pause at least once a day. Place your hands over your heart and say aloud, hope lives here. 10th one. Remind yourself that you are not alone. See it. To lose sleep worrying about your friend. To have trouble picking yourself up after someone lets you down. To feel like less because someone didn't love you enough to stay. To be afraid to try something new for fear that you will fail. None of this means you are dysfunctional or crazy. It just means you are a human and that you need a little time to write yourself. You are not alone. No matter how embarrassed or pathetic you feel about your own situation, there are others out there experiencing the same emotions. When you hear yourself say, I am all alone, it is your mind trying to sell you a lie. The 11th one. Pay less attention to other people's opinions of you. Answer. The truth is that what people say and do to you is much more about them than you. People's reactions to you are about their perspectives, wounds, and experiences. Whether someone thinks you are amazing or believes you are terrible, again, is more about them. I am not suggesting we should be narcissists and ignore all feedback, but I am saying that too much hurt, disappointment, and sadness in our lives comes from taking things personally. In most cases, it's far more productive and healthy to let go of other people's good or bad opinions of you and to operate with your own intuition and wisdom as your guide. 12th one. Embrace the new, stronger vision of you. Answer. You are not who you used to be, and that's okay. You have been hurt. You have gone through numerous ups and downs that have made you who you are today. Over the years, so many things have happened, things that have changed your perspective, taught you lessons, and forced your spirit to grow. As time passes, nobody stays the same. But some people will still tell you that you have changed. Respond to them by saying, yeah, of course, I have changed. That's what life is all about. I am still the same human being, just a little stronger now than I ever was before. This is the answer. Next, afterthoughts. Remember, strength does not come from comfort. From where it comes from stretching your comfort zone and overcoming all the things you once thought you couldn't handle. When you find yourself at your most painful points in your life, you are open to the greatest positive change. In the end, the strongest people are the ones who feel pain, accept it, learn from it, and fight through it. For a very long time, I looked at my past with shame, guilt, resentment, and regret, thinking that many of the things that happened to me in the past should not have happened, thinking that life treated me unkindly and that I was nothing but a victim of my past and a victim of life. I did my best to hide all my skeletons in the closet, to pretend as if I had no wounds that needed healing, and to act as if none of the horrible things that happened to me in the past had an impact on me. I honestly believed that if I looked somewhere else long enough, and if I ignored the sadness that was present within me, the darkness will eventually go away and the light will shine through me and on me once again, but it did not. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. I grew up with an abuse and alcoholic father, and never really knew how it felt like to be loved and nourished by your own parents from a very early age. I have learned to put on a happy face and to pretend that everything was okay in my world. To pretend I was okay. I never really spoke with anyone about what was happening in our home. I guess did not want people to ask me all kind of weird questions and give me the pity book even though they still did. It was hard enough for me to cope with everything that was happening, and I guess didn't have any energy left to talk about all of those horrible experiences. I didn't want to relive the trauma all over again. I wanted to forget about it all and hoping that by doing is so it will never happen again, but it did. I was just a little kid, and that was my way of coping with what was happening in our home, helping me to survive through it all, helping me to deal with my father's madness and brutality, and helping me to stay sane in an insane environment. Now, how do I turn my wounds into wisdom? This type of behavior and approach to life helped me a lot when I was a little girl. But after my father died, because I was no longer in danger, it would have been healthier for me to let my guard down, get out of the protecting mode, and go into the safe and healing mode by talking about what happened and allowing the healing process to begin, but I didn't. I didn't know how to do that, and as a result, I continued to act as if I was still a prisoner of my past. I continued to be ashamed that I was deprived of love, nourishment, and happy childhood. Ashamed that my life was different. But there was no need to be ashamed to tears. For tears bore witness that a man had the greatest of courage, the courage to suffer. And I continued to create my life from that place. I continued to create my life with the broken pieces of the past, inflicting a lot of unnecessary pain upon myself and those around me, making my life a living hell. How I turned my wounds into wisdom and my difficulties into opportunities. That fall because of everything that was happening, and because I felt that I couldn't take it any longer. I made a commitment to myself to work on loving, accepting, and loving all my flaws and imperfections, and to spend the rest of my life on turning my wounds into wisdom, allowing my past to make me better, not bitter. I made a promise to myself to make the best out of every experience life will send my way, whether good or bad. and to make the rest of my life the best of my life. That fall, it honestly felt as if something in me awakened, as if a force bigger and more powerful than me took over my life, making sure that I was safe and protected at all times. What once seemed dark, scary, and painful was now becoming something full of light, hope, love, and compassion. A blessing in disguise. Sriyakantāya Kalyana Nade Nidedhanam Sri Venkatanivasaaya Srinivasaaya Mangalam Mangalasasraparer Madacharya Purogamai Sarvesha Purvairacharye Satkrutāya Stu Mangalam.